All right, today we're going to talk about something that's inside literally every piece of tech you own, but you probably never think about it. It's the silent workhorse, the unforgettable memory that makes everything work the second you hit the power button. Let's dive in.
I mean, have you ever really thought about that? You turn your phone off, your printer, even your microwave. How does it know what to do when it turns back on? What gives it its basic instructions? Well, the secret is a special kind of memory, one that, you guessed it, never forgets. So this unforgettable memory has a name, and it's called ROM. And honestly, it's kind of the bedrock of our entire digital world. Let's break down what that actually means.
ROM stands for read-only memory, and the most important word there, the one you really got to focus on, is permanently. See, unlike other kinds of memory that just wipe themselves clean when you power down, ROM holds on tight to its information. It's like the device's long-term memory, making sure the super important stuff is always there.
And that second part of the name is just as crucial, read-only. A really good way to think about it is like a printed book, right? You can read the words on the pages a million times, but you can't just scribble new ones on top. That's ROM in a nutshell. The data gets written on there once, usually at the factory, and it is meant to stay that way forever.
Now, this is where a lot of people get mixed up. You've probably heard of RAM, right? ROM's more famous cousin. Well, they couldn't be more different. RAM is permanent, like words carved into stone. RAM, on the other hand, is totally temporary. It's like a whiteboard that gets erased every time you unplug it. ROM is also cheaper to make, but there's a catch. To find a piece of data, it has to read through everything in order. RAM, though, it can jump straight to any piece of data it wants, which is why it's so much faster for all the things you're actively doing on your device.
But, not all ROM is exactly the same. Over the years, engineers came up with different versions for different jobs. You can almost think of it like a family of permanent memory, where each member has its own little quirks. So let's meet the family.
So the family tree kind of started with PROM. You could program it yourself, but only once. Make a mistake? Too bad. Then came EPROM, which was pretty wild. You could actually erase it by blasting it with UV light. From there, we got EEPROM, which could be erased with just an electrical charge. And this was a total game changer. All of a sudden, you could update the core instructions on a device after it was sold. This idea leads us right to the flash ROM we have today, the stuff in our USB drives and smartphones that makes firmware updates just a normal everyday thing.
Okay, so that's some cool tech history, but why does any of this actually matter to you? Well, because without ROM, none of your devices would even know how to turn on in the first place. It is the absolute unsung hero of our digital lives.
This is ROM's most critical job. It stores the firmware, or on a computer, you might have heard it called the BIOS. This is the very first thing the processor looks at when you hit the power button. It's the basic code that says, hey, I'm a printer, and here's how to check my ink. Or, okay, I'm a computer, it's time to load the operating system. It's basically the digital DNA of every device. And you find this stuff absolutely everywhere, not just in big computers. The simple, reliable instructions in ROM are perfect for things like a calculator or a laser printer that needs to remember how to handle fonts. It's in your car, your microwave, your TV remote. It is the hidden brain in so many gadgets we use every single day. So if you take away just one thing, it's this. ROM is the constant. It's the reliable foundation. In a world where everything is about temporary files and erasable data, ROM is the part of the machine that gives it those permanent, unchangeable instructions that it needs to just work. So, the next time you turn something on, anything at all, just take a second to think about that hidden memory chip working away in the background. What do you think of the core, unforgettable instructions that your favorite gadgets just couldn't live without? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.